Welcome back to another episode of the House Husband Diaries. As always, I am your host, Carter C. We are on themes again today, but you already knew that because you saw the description or the title. How's my singing voice? Y'all like my singing voice? When I first started putting out videos a couple months ago, I was over in the other room and I had a bigger painting in the background and a different wall, and I was on a stool. And this guy kept commenting that he thought I was going to drop some videos of like some songs, pull out my guitar. I forgot about that until just now. Maybe I should do that. Restring the old git fiddle. Maybe so. Maybe I'll write a song about Forrest Fenn. Not much of a singer. Today, we are on the theme of love. Love. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. As I said in my last video, I think the themes that hide hints and clues, the reason there's only a couple of mentions specifically that have the hints or clues in it, and that all the other mentions are just noise. But there are a lot of mentions of love, and I feel like there should be, because it's a memoir, and if you've lived a life of love, hopefully everybody has, can look back on their lives and pinpoint, uh, you know, times in their lives where love stuck out to them and was genuine instead of just all being terrible. So hopefully, everybody's had some enough good parts of their lives to be positive. Now, I will say this, a couple of things. As always, I'm reading out of the 11th edition of The Thrill of the Chase. And then, as I said in a previous video, because I'm getting up here in number of themes and I have a number to go, I'm floating the idea of, March Madness, of a theme bracket. So once I get enough of these themes out here, like come March Madness, for basketball fans, maybe March, April, something like that. We've had enough themes out there, and it's starting to warm up. Maybe some people are starting to get boots on the ground, maybe not. But maybe we have like a live show, a bracket challenge, and then people can kind of weigh in on what themes they think are most important, and then we can do a little tournament. Take a couple weeks to do a tournament, or who knows, maybe in one marathon. People just have to put in votes. We'll see. Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, do all that jazz if you really want to, if you think it's a good idea, you think it'd be fun just to see what other people have to say as far as what they think the important themes are in Thrill of the Chase, and what could bring us to find the treasure chest. Okay, with that being said, I think there's nothing else to do but start talking about love. First mention, page 5. It's right under life is a game of poker. Happiness is the pot. Fate deals you 4 cards and a joker, and you play whether you like it or not. And then down below that it says, this book is dedicated to those who love the thrill of the chase. Oh yeah, love is in the air right from the beginning. The book is dedicated to those who love the thrill of the chase. Do you love the thrill of the chase, or do you love the idea of there being a multi-million-dollar treasure chest at the end of the chase? And I think that's an interesting question. I talked about it in a previous video as well. Somebody asked that during the marathon, and I think because I'm so far away from the search area that it would be amazing to find millions of dollars of treasure. It's like a pirate treasure or whatever. Everything. Like the chase is fun. And then the booty at the end is great. But I think part of being so far away, it kind of removes me from the likelihood of finding the chest. So the amount of money is fun because you're like, oh, it's big. Maybe I can help somebody else, or who knows? Maybe I'll stumble upon something. I wouldn't put this much time and effort into something if it was like $10, because I could go, mow somebody's yard or rake leaves for $10, Like, there's got to be something there, some reward. You don't just work out for a dad bod, you know, you work out so that you get a six pack and then you got to tan it. And you know what I mean? That's how you find love. Oh, all right. Let's get back to it. Page 21. 21. Already used this same sentence, I know, in a previous theme. She was smart like that. Smart, wise, clever. You remember that theme video? She was smart like that, and I usually did what she said because I loved her so much. I don't know. Something about that rings a bell, you know, crossing the street. We're in no place for biddies. I don't know. Turn a couple pages, page 24. Let's see. Oh, this one. Oh, love this one. Love it. I love it. I like it a lot. Page 24, top of the first full paragraph. Now, I secretly loved that old lady Ford, and I say old because she had to be at least 40. Now, I secretly loved that old lady Ford. Secret. I secreted the treasure. He can keep his secret where? Loved old lady. So many themes in one sentence. Am I crazy? Is this just me? Please. I mean, you can comment, you're crazy. You're just batshit crazy. That's fine. I'm 100% okay with that. But also you can comment and you can say, you're not crazy. I see this too. A number of you have said that. I appreciate it. If you think I'm crazy, hit a like button. Like my craziness. Even more so than like, hit subscribe. And if you don't think I'm crazy, you think I'm onto something, hit subscribe. How about that? Just kill two birds with one stone. I secretly love, remember that. I'm sure you've seen this, but moving on to page 29. Bessie and me. Bessie tells me something. Bessie bothers me. Okay. Third sentence. I loved that old cow, and it was fun to milk her before school and again before supper. Flip the page. Until you have loved a cow, part of your soul remains undiscovered. I guess that is partially what K-Pro sees in cow. She's trying to find that undiscovered part of her soul. Love you guys. Just a little shout out, just a joke. Yeah, until you have loved a cow, part of your soul remains undiscovered. Well, maybe okay, so maybe a field, running across a field, has cows. Because didn't he say there were cows all around him when he slept under the tree when he left Texas A&M? Until you've loved a cow, part of your soul remains undiscovered. The treasure chest remains undiscovered. There's cows. It's a field. Trees. Under a tree. I'm telling you, it's not in the Rocky Mountains. It's not somewhere. I don't know, guys. Ladies and gents. I don't know. Page 45. In love with Yellowstone. Look at that name. It's the title. All right, in love with Yellowstone. And then down right below, I absolutely love that place. And along the rivers, I could find the best agate rocks. I don't know how you say that for making marbles. I've never made a marble. I don't think we have that kind of rock over here in the eastern part of the country. Maybe we do. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I took a geology class in college, and I think I might remember that term being used like vaguely, or maybe I'm just saying I do to make myself sound smart or feel smarter. I don't know. I don't really think there's anything there, honestly. I just think that was a mention of love. So I'm trying to, or two mentions of love. So I'm trying to cover my bases here. What I will say is, I do think Yellowstone is a complete misdirection. I don't think Yellowstone has anything to do with it. I think here's the reason why. Well, two reasons why. One is a national park, and I don't think he wants. You have to pay to get in the national park. So every time you go, I don't know how often you get to go in with one payment, but he's not going to ask people to do 1,000 searches in Yellowstone and they have to pay. It was expensive. I went like a year and a half ago, and it was like $40, I think. I don't remember what it was, but it was more than I was expecting. And he doesn't want people to pay all that money. And the second reason why I don't think it's in a national park in Yellowstone is because you'd have to give it up. If you said you found it in Yellowstone, then you'd have to give it up for like a day at least, and then he doesn't want any of that. Go home, wait 30 days. So I think Yellowstone is just a misdirection. I think he really does love it, and he wants to talk about it, but I don't think it. I think it's more subtle, subtler. It's subtler. It's more subtle than that. So anywho, page 49. Down at the bottom. I won't mention anything more about that pie caper, another caper, except to say that the precedent had been set and I grew to really love Grandma. So now he's really loving Grandma. I get why he loves Grandma here, because she helped him out with the pies and, not getting fired, getting rehired, whatever. But he's loving these old ladies with the pies. I don't know. Page 57. Skippy, the long ride home. I loved him forever after that, and we never fought again. So that's just him picking him back up and doing whatever. There's some other interesting things out in that story, but I can't really put them together right now for a good part of this video. Other videos maybe, but just a mention of love, so I thought I'd put it out there. Page 70, that's what I was talking about earlier. Page 70. Middle of the page, right below the song. I loved it beyond description, and suddenly everyone was a friend to be trusted. No, you can't trust anybody. Two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. That is an aberration to me. That sticks out. I mean, I get what he's saying about they're trying to build camaraderie. Texas A&M, the military, he loves these guys. He says that later on. In My War for Me. And then, of course, at the bottom of that paragraph is the crazy running through the barbed wire, falling down. I skip over the mentions of love in My War for Me. The reason why I do that is because, one, there's a ton of them. Well, there's a number of them. And two, I don't think there's anything there. He loves his family. He loves the guys that are coming to get him or bombing for him or something. Maybe that's poor on my part, but this video is going to be long enough. I'm halfway done, or a little over halfway done with the mentions. And so anyway, just looking out for you guys. You can read My War for Me and see what he talks about love. I don't think love is what he's getting at in there. I think he really did love the guys that were trying to that are bombing, Viet Cong and trying to come save him. I think he really does love, his wife and his kids, and he really wants to get home to them. Like I think dimensions of home, I think dimensions of love, and that story are just legitimate. I don't think there's any, there's nothing more natural than just loving the people that you love and wanting to be home, and loving your people that you're, going to battle with. So I don't think there's anything there. Secretly loving old ladies, loving grandma. There's something different there, potentially, my opinion. Page 110, teachers with rotes. Now this is crazy. So I was not expecting this at all when I started researching this theme. I don't know if there's anything here, but it really blew me away that he uses the term love so much in this chapter. All right. Was I right? 110? No. Yeah. Should be somewhere in here. Oh, yeah, it's at the top. Teachers loved us because they could take an hour break while I taught their class. And the children loved us because they got an hour break from the teachers. Everyone was happy, including me, because I got an hour respite from the tedium of my desk. Even our salespeople loved it because they got to loaf for an hour and gossip about me with the teachers while they drank coffee. Flip over a page, or 2 pages. Page 112. Down at the bottom. The teachers were horrified at what we were doing, but the students loved it and were very serious. Next page, 113. I loved that comment and explained to the class that art is not meant to be worshipped, but instead it should be treated as one would treat a friend. And then he goes on to talk about the 5 senses, using all of your senses. Partly why you got to get boots on the ground, I guess. Got to get out there. Search. Page 115, moving on. Tea with Olga. Talking about Taos Mountain. She loved the sacred old mountain with its strong ponderosa and aspen groves that blanketed its landscape so completely. I don't really think there's anything there. I wonder if, Taos Mountain, I think that's Wheeler Peak or something. I think that's been searched a million times. I don't know. I don't live out there. I haven't been there in forever. So I've only been there once, and it was a long time ago. It was in the 90s, mid-90s. Okay. 124. Just a couple more mentions. A few more mentions. 4, actually. 124. Chapters Fly Water. Second full paragraph. A passing mood will bring thoughts of loved ones floating back to dominate a few moments of our time. The reveries are too many to be counted, but each one occupies a far corner of my mind, waiting for another time. I love those things when they do that. 2 mentions of love. Love and love. I don't know, something about bringing thoughts of loved ones floating back to dominate a few moments of our time. Of loved ones, Grandma, Old Lady Ford, or Father and Skippy and June. I don't know. Page 125. Middle of the page. Many others who have loved those waters before and after me understand that catching fish is not what it's about. It's the being there, in the tranquility, tranquility, and silence of oneself, or within the gentle call of a friend when he hooks a nice one, or tells you of the moose and calf that just came out of the pines to feed on the water grasses downstream. I don't know if there's a waterfall. I don't know, obviously, where the treasure chest is because I don't have it. But I think kind of what he's saying here, and one of the things that I think Forrest appreciates is just the solitude of being somewhere. And the beauty doesn't have to be the most beautiful place in the world. It could just be peaceful because it's out in a field under a tree. Tree provides you shelter and shade. And you have the wildlife around, and it's just peaceful. And there's nothing better when you've been in war to have peace, to just be able to relax. You don't have to worry about, hiking in and out of canyons and all that kind of stuff. It's just, a nice field. Page 130. We're almost there, folks. Almost there. Page 130. The pup's getting restless. Page 130. Talking about the bracelet with the 22 turquoise disc beads. It fit snug to my arm, and I loved it, but its history is what appealed to me the most. It's history. I think he loves history. You know why? Because he says on page 135, Dancing with the Millennium, I've always had a love for history, and that's why I like to collect and talk about old things. Maybe it's because the people who lived in olden times seem so mysterious to me. I've wondered what they did when they weren't doing anything. I love that. I love that phrase. I wonder what you do when you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. That's what you're doing. When you're not doing anything, you're not doing anything. I like that. So that is, in my view or my research, dimensions of love in The Thrill of the Chase. So I think there's a couple things there that the aberrations that live out on the edge. Where he loves the old lady or secretly loves or something. I think that is interesting. I don't know how that fits into the poem at this point, so I can't say. But like I say, over and over, what I'm trying to do is just parse these themes out, get them out here for you guys. Do you see what I'm seeing? If you do, great. If you don't, great. I don't see a lot of things that other people see. So I'm putting it out there. It helps me work through it. I hope maybe it helps you work through some of these things. And really 2020, like I say, if I get a solve, if I figure out going through all of this stuff and really, if I feel like I'm nailing something down and I'm getting there, then I will be out there in a heartbeat, 100%. But until then, I'm going to keep researching. I'm going to keep putting out videos. I love to hear your thoughts. Keep bouncing them off me, and yeah, we'll find this thing. 2020 is the year. All right. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the House Husband Diaries. I hope you guys have a great day.